Okay, so hello. My name is John Lamb, and today I will be doing a subtopic on Twitter posts regarding my normal unit of analyzing and exploring bias versus credibility with social media. But instead of just social media as just in general, today I'm going to be talking about Twitter posts. Okay, so let's refresh our memory. Credible is when something you could trust and you can know that this is correct information. Also, this is a peer-reviewed source and it is reliable. Now, bias, if we refresh our memory, you can't trust it. It's not verified information and it leads to one side or another. Okay, so let's dive into it. Twitter, credible and biased. So, like I said, the subtopic to overall unit is social media, credible and biased, and these are my three learning objectives. So after students learn this subunit on Twitter, they understand what's a credible source on Twitter. After students learn this subunit on Twitter, they understand what's a bias source on Twitter. And after students learn this subunit on Twitter, they could differentiate a real example post from being credible or biased. Okay, so to start, um, my students will read in pairs this article on evaluating credibility in social media posts. Um, and after they read, we will be having a class discussion on the article evaluating credibility in social media posts. And this will then hit my first point at understanding what's a credible source on Twitter, because the article went over it, and from their own knowledge, we will discuss. So I just added some things. See if a Twitter post is credible. You got to check the following. You need to check the author. If there's little following, there could be an issue. If the author's not found, that's an issue. Check who's liking the posts. Like it could be bots, or it could be like the person's friends, um, like leading to one side or another. Like you need to see if this person um is verified. You got to check if this person has other social media pages, and if all of these clear, then there's a high chance of this Twitter post being credible. Next, in class, after we finish discussing that, we are going to be reading an article on bias. So, how to detect bias in news media. We give them some time to read. When they read, after they read, we will come back, discuss as a class. And that'll hit my next point on understanding what's a bias source on Twitter. So, for them to understand, to see if a Twitter post is biased, so the author is not verified, the author is not found, the bots are commenting on the post, we're saying it's wrong information, um, works for a certain sport team, bots making the post, no other social media pages, saying wrong information, and also a fan of a team writes with opinion. So then, with my class, I will show them this post. Atlanta Hawks star Trae Young sustained a sprained MCL, right? And then it goes on. And then we look at the author, Shams. Okay. So then I'm going to ask them to do this on their own and tell me by the end of class, on a piece of paper, if this post is credible or biased. Now, the real answer is this is credible. It's a verified author. The author works for ESPN. That's why it's credible. Now, the next thing I want them to write on the sheet of paper is this Twitter post credible or biased? This one. Terrible news. JJ McCarthy practiced fully yesterday and is set to start this week's game for the Vikings. This post is biased because the person who posted said terrible news. That's first off, that just goes right from opinion, and then this then shows bias towards JJ and the Vikings. So then my documentation is this video then demonstrates this video that I demonstrate right now is a subtopic to my unit on credibility and bias in social media. This subtopic focuses on Twitter. This means that I'm diving deeper into one social media app when regarding credibility and bias. During this subtopic, I want my students to be able to understand what a credible source on Twitter, a biased source on Twitter, and differentiate real example posts from being credible or biased. To do this, I had them read an article in pairs to help them understand what a credible source is on Twitter. Then in class, we read an article that was biased. And finally, I showed them two posts to have them try to differentiate the two, try to understand if they now know that, okay, this post is credible, okay, this post is biased. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah.